Hi guys, Jeff here from Daily Dose of Jeff, and I got all the details of the Wisconsin shooting like I promised. Every time a story breaks, I'll cut, you don't have to watch the news. You just come to my channel and you're going to get all the details. I got pictures of the shooter, all the little details that you guys want without having to watch hours of news. All right, so let's break it down. Today's December 17th, 2024. Yesterday, a girl, 15-year-old girl named Natalie Rupnow. She went into her Christian school, Abundant Life, in Madison, Wisconsin. Yesterday, around 11 o'clock, she went in with a 9mm handgun, and she killed a teacher. She killed another student and wounded 6 others. 2 others are in critical, life-threatening condition. Okay, so as you can see, I have pictures right now of her up there. So here are the details. So she's 15. There's no surprises after what you hear of what this whole thing was about. Again, I'm really big on parenting, and it comes down to the parents. To me, it always comes down to the parents, And, in my last podcast, if you want to go look at yesterday's, what did I talk about? I talked about Columbine High School, didn't I? This is without even knowing the details of this case. Well, guess what? Columbine High School had everything to do with this. That's right. This girl, I talked about Dylan Klebold and who's the other clown? I talked about the 2 of them. And this girl apparently worships these 2. These 2 morons that shot up Columbine. She has been a big advocate, a fan, whatever you want to call her, and she wore the same t-shirt. You can see it right here. I got pictures up there, and so you can see exactly the motive here. So same t-shirt. She knew everything about them. She killed herself exactly how they killed themselves. If you guys don't know about the Columbine High School, you must be living under a rock. Go Google it. It's the very first really big school shooting out there in Colorado. And so they had everything to do with this girl, with this killing, with this whole scene. It all came from Columbine. But that's not where it came from. It came from the parents. And I keep telling you guys, just like with Luigi Mangione, the parents, everything comes back to the parents. All right? You could say they were nice people, wonderful people, but something was missing. You look at all these cases, and almost all of them can be traced back to the parents in some way. Not directly, not saying the parents are horrible. I don't know her parents. Not saying that like Dylan Klebold and their parents look nice people and all that. But what was missing? And the more I look into this, what's missing is the child did not get that relationship, the love that they desire, the time, the attention. When children are small and tiny, they need attention. You could teach them like Luigi Mangione. There's no doubt he got the schooling, valedictorian, master's degree. He got all that. Did he get the love and attention that he was seeking as a child? Because all that anger gets stored up, and it's going to be released some way, somehow, if they don't get that need fulfilled. And this has nothing to do with getting them to do their homework, raising them real strict and proper. No, I'm not talking about any of that. Did you spend time and give your child attention constantly when they needed it and called for it? Did you leave them alone? Did you ignore them? Did you go off to work? Did the fathers go off to work? So let's get into this case here. All right, so 15-year-old girl, Natalie Rupnow, she goes in there yesterday. The first call came in around 11 o'clock. I'm imagining Central Time. It was reported that a second-grade student was the first to call. No, that's not true. Now they found out it's a second-grade teacher that made the first call. Real quick, this is a private Christian school, about 420 students, all the way from pre-K through grade 12. There's 3-year-olds in this school. And this happened at study hall just before 11 o'clock. Natalie was at study hall, and this is when she did her damage, I guess you could call it. The police believe that there were nobody targeted in particular, so she didn't care who she killed. All right, she, in my opinion, was carrying out an act replicating Columbine High School, but it goes deeper than that. It goes deeper than Columbine. That's just the results of the damage that already took place. So her parents divorced. She's lived with her father, primarily 42-year-old male. He gave the police no hassle at all. They searched the house. I mean, not only did they search the house, so they lived 8 miles away from the school. The SWAT team went over there. They bombarded the house. They took off the door. They smashed windows. I mean, you name it. They did. I don't understand that. Why you got to dismantle somebody's house? But they did it. The father cooperated. No problem. They said the motive was a combination of factors. So as of today, Tuesday, December 17th, 2024, combination of factors. But you could clearly see, from the pictures that she was just replicating Columbine High, the Columbine shooting, because she worshiped the two guys that shot up that school. They wore a shirt from a German band. I think, what is it, KM, FDM, whatever that, I know it means something, there is a meaning. You got to look that up, because I do remember saying that, something about, I got to look that up while I'm doing it. I'll tell you more facts, because it is important, that German band, it translates into something, a message, and you're going to want to hear that. So, the father goes on Facebook, and here's where the kicker comes in. The father has pictures of her at a shooting range. This dope. You guys familiar with the Ethan Crumbley case? Okay, Ethan Crumbley, we talked about that in the first podcast yesterday. And the parents took him shooting. So, you take these kids shooting at a young age, what do you think they're going to do if they're having problems? Okay, so KMFDM, this is a German band, and it's translated, no pity for the majority. So there you go. I mean, everything you need to know, no pity for the majority. That's just what this German rock band, that Natalie had on her shirt, and coincidentally the Columbine shooters had as well. No pity for the majority. But the father is posting pictures of her at a shooting range. Now, there's a good chance that this guy is going to go to jail as well. I mean, if Ethan Crumbley, if his parents went to jail, I think it was mom and a stepdad, I believe, they took him to a shooting range. And then he ends up shooting 4 people at his high school in Pennsylvania a few years ago. If they went to jail, there's a good chance that Natalie's father is going to go to jail as well. I mean, I can't say that for sure. So let's talk about Barbara Weirs. She is the school director, and she said that when they practice safety, the leaders always announce this is a drill, but that didn't happen yesterday. All they heard was lockdown, and everybody knew this was real. There are no metal detectors at the school. Lots of cameras, no metal detectors. The parents had joint custody of Natalie. But like I said, she did live with the father. The first responders got there in 3 minutes. I'm giving you all the facts here. If you're just joining me, the Wisconsin shooting, when stories break, I don't like people to waste hours and hours watching the news. Come to my channel. I'm going to give you all the facts after I gather them all up. Just save you a lot of time. So, like I said, the father had her. I'm going to show you here a picture of her at the shooting range. That's Natalie. All these pictures you're seeing are Natalie, whether she's young, old. They're all photos of her or people at the school that you're seeing here. SWAT team raided her house. She wore the German shirt, the German band, and no pity on the majority. So that's about all at this time. All the facts that have come out on day 2. And now we can talk about the dope, her father, who takes her to a shooting range. Now, I mean, again, like I said, like Luigi Mangione, this comes down to the parents. Okay? Same thing with the Columbine. Parents were wonderful people, nice people. But the one thing, if you go out on YouTube, I want you to look up the Columbine, because I watched hours of footage and different documentaries. And what you don't see from the parents, nice people. And I'm going to say that we're nice people, very nice people, but no time with the children. The fact that these kids are out in the woods practicing shooting for hours, endless hours, had all this ammunition at home, all kind of weapons. And the parents, and if you look on their school books, they gave you a million signs that these kids are calling out. Now, a story of Ethan Crumbly, this teenager, he actually told his mother he was calling out and said, "I need help." Okay? They went to jail because Ethan, as plain as day, told him, "I need help," and they didn't give it to him. So they went to jail. But, Dylan Klebold, and Eric, I forget what his last name was, but I think Harris, they were crawling out, they were writing all kind of messages all over their book, in the books at school, and death and notes and the parents never bothered looking once. Nice people, like I said, wealthy people, nice people. That's not what a child craves. A child craves attention. And when the child doesn't get it, especially at those critical early ages, they're going to grow up with all this anger stored up. Let me give you an example of my dogs. We have a dog, and to me, the dogs are neglected because the girls, they all said they wanted these dogs. We got 2 dogs, and the dogs were neglected, and the girls, I finally had to step in and pretty much take over ownership of the dogs. And the dogs, if you leave them neglected, they start tearing up things. They tear up the yard, same thing with a child. In a very similar manner. If that child doesn't get the love and attention, then they're going to respond in some kind of, crazy way. I remember my son. So here's what I remember. My son was about, I'm going to say maybe a year old, and I remember watching American Idol, and I was so wrapped up into American Idol. I think we're talking like 2007 area. And I remember I was ignoring him, and he just stood up and he started peeing. And I got so angry. But then I stopped and I thought, hold on, what's going on here? He just wanted my attention, is what it was. And I don't even know if he did it on purpose, but that is exactly how children work. And later, if that need isn't filled, it's going to spill out into something like this. Look at this girl. This girl, parents divorced, and you take her to a shooting range, and my guess is that the father didn't have a strong bond as far as giving the child the attention and the love. He may have loved her. That's different. I'm not talking about just loving your child. I'm sure he loved her to death. But how much time did you give her? How much time did Natalie get? How much time did Luigi get? It's what I'm most curious about. If you love your child, just loving them is not enough. The time and the attention are everything here. Like I said, I don't know these people personally, and there could be more to it. But I'm giving you, my opinion on these things, always filtered down to the parents for the upbringing. And you got to, when I say upbringing, we're not talking about raising them properly. We're talking about giving them your time. So parents out there, right now, I'm talking to you. I'm talking directly to you. We've seen enough. We've seen enough. I want you to look at the Parkland case, okay? Nicholas Cruz. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. Nicholas Cruz, he grew up and he shot up the Parkland High School, the Douglas High School out there in Florida a few years ago. And you look, I watch all his documentaries, and parents, I think he was an orphan at one point and lived with a foster mother. And the child didn't have the love and the attention, and that when they grow up in the teens, it's going to pour out. It's going to pour out. It all starts from zero. Parents, if I can get through to you, one of the biggest things I did, I've raised my nephew pretty much, or a lot of his life, and when I had children, I said, wow, it is unbelievable the amount of attention a child needs. And I gave my 3 kids everything, blood, sweat, and tears I had. Let me go find a couple pictures. I'll post them for you just to let you see how exhausted I was, giving them so much of my time, because I knew when they hit that 10-year-old age that, things are going to start to change. And I want them to have that. I want that bond with them. I had all 3 kids on my lap multiple times, constantly, even working my job at home, on the computer, having all 3 kids. I remember that. And just gave my kids every night, instead of watching, I wanted to watch the Sixers and watch hockey, Flyers. I didn't do any of that. I remember not watching the Sixers for a period of 8 years, and I love basketball. And I gave my kids time, and I filmed them, and, made all kind of videos, and so I could have them later on in life. And this is what a child needs, okay? Parents, if I can get through to you, you don't want an Ethan Crumbly. You don't want a Luigi Mangione. You don't want a Natalie Rupp now. And this goes back to the childhood. I know you out there, you dopes out there are going to write to me and say, oh, no, this and that, radicalized. No, this goes back to the roots, to the parents, to the time, the amount of time spent. In all these cases, I never see a case where you show me that the parent and the child spent tons of time together at an early age. That people report that, or family reports that. The parents could be good people, great people, and they could be strict with the education, like in Luigi Mangione's case, but that's not what I'm talking about. How much time did they sit down with Luigi and have that bond? And it's sacrifice. So parents, if you have children under the age of 5, even at any age, you got to start giving your time. Yes, you're going to sacrifice. Yes, I had to give up, the things that I loved for a good period, about 8 to 10 years. I put my golf clubs away. I remember doing that. You know why? I was hitting 300 shots a day in my backyard, and it hit me one day, and I said, all I'm doing is spending hours and hours with these golf clubs and golf balls. And I got real good. I won the club championship, and I said, after that, I'm putting them away. That's it. The kids were real young, and since 2014, I haven't touched them, haven't played. And I wanted to be a PGA professional as my dream growing up. So I played golf, meant a lot to me. I put it away, and I haven't played a round of golf since 2014, 800-hour golf clubs. These are the things you sacrifice. And when the kids get older and they move out of the house, I'll start playing again. My children are 13, 16, 18. I may start to break the clubs out. But when a child is born, attention, nonstop, 1, 2, 3, 4 years old. Parents, you've got to give them your time. I'm begging and pleading with you. Want to avoid these situations like Natalie. Natalie, I can guarantee you, just had that stored up anger from her childhood. Comment down below. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you appreciate the work that I put in getting all these facts for you guys and the pictures. And I'll be back with another podcast hopefully tomorrow. Thanks for watching Daily Dose of Jeff.